Gold Rush Season 15 saw Ness's team of 7 members outperform themselves and cash in millions of dollars worth of gold. As the finales inched in, the team had more to account for, and they outdid themselves this season. In April, Discovery aired the total value of the gold that Ness's team had gotten. Before the finale, the temperatures were plummeting in the area, and the miners had to move fast to make their final earnings of the season. Throughout the Gold Rush episode, we saw them deal with dangerous areas, equipment that often failed, and a crew that would always argue. However, their respective goals were reached at the end, and it was a huge amount of earnings. During the last episode, the teams tried their luck at Vegas Valley. It was a huge risk, but a huge reward as well. Ness had to put in all his gains from the Rally Valley into this new adventure, which would prove to be their last gamble of the installment. The place had bad weather at the time and a huge uncertainty. Rick Ness accumulated a total of $4.5 million worth of gold this season on Gold Rush. During the last episode, everything was doubtful, however. He wanted to do his best, but the weather and the circumstances seemed tough. The temperatures were already going down to give them a freezing time, and on top of that, they had to work extra. The 2-hour finale showed the entire team of 7 working day and night to juice out as much as they can during their time. Tragedy struck when the equipment failed. Monster Red was in a tough spot when his shaker deck belt snapped. They did not even have another one at the time to replace the one that just gave out. However, Ryan Kent was handy in the situation and fixed it. He decided to drill 2 holes in the same and help him using a conveyor belt. This was dealt with for the time being. Another challenge came when they had to oversee the water line leaking. This ended up costing them the work of an entire night and slowed them down. This ended up being the biggest hit as Ness decided to finally stop their mining for the season. The situation was getting out of hand when they dug up the broken water pump and wash plant. By the end of the Gold Rush episode, they all came together to weigh in on the final amount of gold they have been able to accumulate. The result came out to be 110.79 ounces. However, the team was not happy given the fact that they had worked 24 hours straight for it. But Ness, in a surprising twist of events, pulled out gold from his pockets that brought their total to 411 ounces. This meant that Vegas Valley had given them $1.1 million worth of gold. As for their earning through the entire season, the team had earned $4.5 million. For years, Gold Rush has captivated audiences with its high-stakes gold mining adventures in the remote wilderness of the Yukon. The show follows a group of miners as they risk it all to strike it rich, battling the elements, mechanical failures, and even their own egos in the pursuit of gold. Each season brings new challenges, triumphs, and jaw-dropping revelations, and Season 15 was no exception. One of the standout teams during this season was led by Rick Ness, a familiar face to Gold Rush fans who had previously worked under Parker Schnabel before branching out on his own. His journey from a sidekick to a leader of his own mining operation has been one of the most compelling storylines in the show's history. But the big question on many viewers' minds heading into the 15th season was, how much gold did Rick Ness's team manage to bring in? In this article, we'll explore how Rick Ness and his team performed in Gold Rush Season 15, what challenges they faced, and just how much gold they ended up extracting by the season's end. Rick Ness's team, new challenges, new strategy. Rick's team has had an evolving dynamic throughout his time on Gold Rush. After leaving Parker Schnabel's operation, Rick took the bold step of assembling his own crew, and with it came a renewed sense of responsibility. In Season 15, Rick was looking to solidify his status as a competent leader while also dealing with the pressures of running his own operation. The season kicked off with a focus on high-risk strategies as Rick looked to push his team to extract more gold than ever before. The team operated on a new mining claim, hoping to tap into an area that had been overlooked by previous miners. The team's goal was ambitious: to dig deep and find rich pockets of gold that would give them a shot at paying off the heavy costs of their equipment and operation. The season also marked a change in the team's approach, with Rick adopting a more aggressive mining style that involved much more exploration and testing of various areas. His team wasn't just digging for the sake of digging, they were being strategic in trying to identify the areas with the highest concentration of gold. However, it wasn't without its challenges. The remote location of the mining site meant that the team faced logistical difficulties, from transporting equipment to dealing with the harsh weather conditions that are typical for the rugged landscapes of the Yukon. Mechanical breakdowns, weather delays, and even personnel issues were just a few of the hurdles the crew had to overcome throughout the season. The gold haul. How much did Rick Ness's team bring in? Now, the big question. How much gold did Rick Ness's team actually bring in during Gold Rush Season 15? Throughout the season, Rick's crew struggled to hit their targeted gold haul, and the season's gold count was one of the most closely watched metrics among fans. The team's performance was tested in real time as the difficulty of the mining tasks weighed heavily on their success. Unlike previous seasons, where Rick had a somewhat clearer path to success, Season 15 presented unique challenges that made every ounce of gold harder to come by. By the end of the season, Rick's team had managed to pull in a total of $3.8 million worth of gold. While this haul wasn't as massive as some of the gold hauls from other mining teams in the Gold Rush franchise, it was still a commendable achievement, considering the difficulties Rick and his team faced. The haul wasn't easy, and it wasn't as straightforward as it seemed. At one point in the season, the crew found themselves behind on their goals, with equipment failures and time constraints threatening their success. But despite these setbacks, Rick's leadership skills were tested to the limit, and he found ways to keep his team focused on the task at hand. Factors that contributed to the outcome. Rick Ness and his crew had a variety of factors working in their favor, but also faced numerous setbacks that affected their bottom line. Here are some of the key aspects that influenced their final gold count. New claim, new opportunities. The team's decision to mine in an area that had previously been overlooked had its pros and cons. On the one hand, it allowed them to uncover new gold deposits that hadn't been touched by previous mining operations. On the other hand, it also meant they were venturing into unknown territory with no guaranteed gold payout. Equipment failures. Like many miners on Gold Rush, Rick's team faced mechanical failures that disrupted their operations. Heavy equipment like wash plants and excavators frequently broke down, causing delays and forcing the crew to adapt to the situation. These interruptions cost the team valuable time and resources. Weather and environmental challenges. As is the case with any mining operation in the Yukon, the weather can make or break a team's success. The season featured record low temperatures, heavy rainfall, and even snow, all of which slowed down the mining process. When mining in such conditions, every delay adds up, and Rick's crew had to work harder to make up for lost time. The pressure of leadership. One of the most compelling aspects of Rick Ness's journey on Gold Rush is his evolution as a leader. While his relationship with his crew members has been a source of tension at times, his ability to keep his team motivated during difficult moments helped them persevere. Rick's willingness to take risks and push his team forward in the face of adversity played a significant role in their ability to bring in a successful gold haul. Finding rich pockets of gold. In the end, the team's success was largely attributed to their ability to locate rich pockets of gold that made the season's haul worth the effort. While it took time to identify the most lucrative spots, Rick's decision to test multiple areas paid off, allowing the team to extract gold from areas they hadn't initially anticipated. Comparing Rick Ness's gold haul to other teams, while $3.8 million in gold is a significant achievement, it's important to note that it was not the largest haul of Season 15. Other mining operations, including those run by Parker Schnabel and Tony Beets, were able to extract even larger amounts of gold. For comparison, Parker's operation netted around $9 million in gold during the same season. Tony Beats, known for his unrelenting attitude and vast mining empire, pulled in around $8 million. Despite this, Rick's haul was still considered a success by many fans and experts, especially considering the challenges his team faced throughout the season. The $3.8 million haul was a testament to Rick's resilience and ability to adapt to difficult circumstances. His leadership, combined with the hard work of his crew, ensured that they could still achieve a significant payout even when things weren't going as smoothly as they had hoped. Conclusion: a tough season, but a success for Rick Ness. In the end, Season 15 of Gold Rush showcased Rick Ness's growth as a leader and miner. While his team faced numerous challenges, they managed to bring in a respectable gold haul of $3.8 million. Although it was not the largest haul in the history of the show, it was an impressive result considering the obstacles the crew faced. Rick's ability to manage his team, adapt to the challenges presented by weather and equipment failures, and stay focused on their goal ensured that they didn't just walk away empty-handed. Gold Rush fans were treated to a dramatic season filled with ups and downs, but in the end, Rick Ness and his team proved that even in the most difficult circumstances, perseverance and leadership can still lead to success.